Good morning to my beautiful friends. It is an amazing Thursday, and we are just about through the week, which makes me pretty excited. Anyways, this is your wake-up call with Maui Paul. Welcome, welcome. It's nice to see you guys here today. I want to say thank you to everybody who shared the video yesterday. Once again, it was over 300 views, and only about 80 of them were my friends. So thank you guys so very much for doing that, and I appreciate it if you're feeling particularly awesome if you would share it today as well. So if you haven't been here before, I am Maui Paul. We are going through my I Am deck. So this is my I Am deck right over here. And this deck is just full of positive affirmations, wonderful things that we can say about ourselves to get our day started right. So we're going to do that today. After I pull a card from the I Am deck, we're going to play the I Am game. The I Am game is so simple. I'm just going to say, are you the affirmation? So yesterday the affirmation was present, and so I'd say, are you present? Then you are going to repeat it back to me. You're going to say, I am present. And or I am whatever the affirmation is today. And in that way, you get to hear, not just coming from me, but coming from you. See, we don't always believe what other people say about ourselves, but we always believe what we say about ourselves. And the morning is a really magical time because we have brain waves firing inside of our skulls in the mornings, specifically for the first 30 minutes after we wake up, called alpha waves. And alpha waves are what connect our dreams to reality. And these dreams are, or these waves are always inside of our heads, but they're most strong in the morning. And so that going through these affirmations in the morning allows us to really just piggyback on this natural phenomena and have extra confidence in the things that we say and the things that we believe when we are here. So I'm going to pull an I Am card off the top of the deck, and let's just see what we got today. So, I am humble. Oh, look at that pretty card. I like it. I am humble. I make a difference more than I declare my importance. So I make a difference more than I declare my importance. I am humble. So let's just play the I Am game. Are you humble? You are humble. You make a difference more than you declare your importance. So I remember when I was just about to leave Costa Rica, I'd been there for 7 years or so, and I was considering doing some public speaking, and I talked to a mentor about it. And he said, you know, Paul, the foremost thing you need to learn, the lesson 101 of public speaking, you have to understand, is that it's not about you. He said, yeah, you've had all kinds of interesting experiences, and you certainly have stuff that you could talk about, and you have things that could benefit a wider audience. But if you make it about yourself, nobody's going to care. And I didn't understand it at the time, and I went and actually did some public speaking. And I took his advice. I made it about my audience. I made it about the people that I was speaking about. I made it about everybody but me. But it's really interesting to be up at a podium, to have a microphone, to have your voice amplified. It can be very easy to make it about ourselves. And when we do that, nobody wants to listen. And I can certainly recall one public speaking engagement that I did at a school where I didn't prepare for it because I figured that I was talking to a bunch of kids, and so why of course I'm a grown-up. I have things to say that are valuable. And while the kids applauded and whatnot, I realized that I didn't make any kind of a connection with them because I hadn't prepared and I hadn't thought about it, and I was making it about me and how cool I was because of what I was doing. And I remembered that lesson. All those words from my mentor echoed through my head. I was like, oh shit, I made it about me, and because I made it about me, I did a disservice to these kids who actually probably loved the fact that they got to have an assembly instead of have to do class. So they'd have clapped and applauded no matter what I said. But the fact is that I knew that I hadn't done my research, I hadn't done my homework, and because my ego had gotten in the way. And that was a humbling experience for me, and I realized that if I'm making it about somebody other than myself, that's humility, and if I don't do that, then the world will humble me if I don't do it for myself. So that was a really interesting thing, and something very paradoxical about public speaking is that people think about a public speaker as being the center of attention, and the public speaker thinks of the audience as being the center of attention. I recall that when I was very young, I had a lot of social reinforcement, um, not necessarily about being humble, but about being self-deprecating, and that a lot of people they equate the two. So when I was in first grade, I could read quite well. I had been reading probably for 3 years before I entered into first grade. My parents were very big on reading. And so when I got into first grade, I could read far better than the kids around me. And one day, I was talking to the teacher about this, and I said, "Oh yeah, well I can read quite well, so therefore I help the kids around me." And she's like, "Oh, don't say that about yourself. You're not allowed to do that. You that's conceited. It is conceited." And that lesson, which was not correct, really stuck with me for a long time. And I realized that it was a lot easier to get social approval when I was young by saying terrible things about myself, which is a habit that all the kids around me were in as well. So if I called myself stupid, everybody would laugh and agree, and all of a sudden I would have that social validation. But if I said that I was smart, I would get, be socially ostracized because my smartness somehow had to equal the stupidity of the people around me. And that's, of course, not true, but when you're 6, you're not logically thinking about things that far out. So, humility is not the same as self deprecation. Humility just means that I recognize my own importance in whatever situation as being lesser than the importance of the people around me. And especially when I do things like this is something that I do for you. I don't do this for me. I get some great benefits out of it, but I don't wake up in the morning being like, oh boy, I get to go hop on a camera and hop on Facebook and go talk to the people. Uh, I hop out of bed in the morning thinking, yes, I get to serve these folks by helping them to have an amazing day, and I get to share my own morning ritual that I've been doing for myself for my own benefit, and I get to share this with others. I get to multiply the effectiveness of this with others. So that makes me really happy, and it also makes me understand the nature of humility as it manifests in my life, and I hope that as it manifests in yours as well. So I am humble, and you are humble too. And so as we go out and as we do life today and as we meet the people we're going to meet and have an impact on the people that only we can have an impact on, let's focus on making a difference in their lives, and let's subordinate our own ego to the difference that we have a potential to make. Because when we don't make it about ourselves, we have the ability to really see and empathize with others. Aloha from paradise.